Y Factory.
Welcome back. We are going to start our reviews here. We're going to go with my review first, and it is going to be my glorious Milwaukee Angle Grinder. So
nice.
We got on this topic at the introduction video. Cody said a lot of good things about Milwaukee. I said that my dad had a Milwaukee Angle Grinder for as long as I can remember, and that's what ultimately was deciding factor in my purchase of this. And so, pulling out the old bag here, and this comes with the bag. This actually came with the whole kit. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I think it was like $120 or $130.
I was gonna say you paid a pretty penny for it.
Yeah, it was.
But worth it.
It's no $70 angle grinder. I think
it's worth
it was like $130 or somewhere around there. So this is the grinder itself, as you can see. Pretty basic. You notice the body's a little bit longer. This actually is an 11 amp angle grinder, which is pretty hefty. It's not the highest duty, but it's still pretty hefty. Comes with a handle.
I was about to ask. You have a handle for it, right?
And comes with a wrench as well. And
in the bag, of course.
I actually left the wrench over there because we're starting off here. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to go into some action shots. And we're going to switch cameras up a little bit, get you guys a little bit clearer video. Audio might not be as clear, but it should still be pretty good. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of talking. We're just going to be cutting straight to the action. We're going to go ahead and cut a piece of exhaust C-clamp in half and show you guys this bad boy in
Absolutely.
So Cody, what are your first impressions of the tool?
Well, let's pick it up. So, one of my favorite things about this grinder, and any grinder like this, is it has the flap on it instead of the trigger.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. I've worked in, I can't even tell you, countless metal shops, building trailers, built an entire roping pen with my uncle. So very comfortable with this tool. Man, I love a grinder. I love it. Not the app. Dude, you don't want a runaway grinder. Shit sucks. A lot of stuff, I know for me, there's certain angles, one-handed, you got to get to it, you know. But no, Milwaukee's solid. I have nothing bad to say with my experience in Milwaukee at all.
Yeah.
All the tools that I've owned from them, still 100%. My dad actually stole my drill.
Did he really?
Yeah. I reminded him about it, and I was like,
"Hey, Pops."
I was like, "Hey, Pop, you still have my fuel drill, right?" And he's like, "Your fuel drill?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
What fuel drill?
You know, my fuel drill. And he's just like, all right, fuel, top of the line with Milwaukee, man.
Yeah.
Their batteries are fantastic. One of the things I love about them is on the battery itself, it actually has a charge meter on it and tells you how much battery you have.
That's super helpful, yeah.
That's
on the battery.
Another thing is they don't get as hot as you would think.
Really?
I was using my drill every single day. Like that was always one of the first things I'd have when I was framing houses, or just anything really.
Right.
Milwaukee solid. My grinder, I do not have a Milwaukee grinder. I actually have a skill grinder.
Okay.
But it is very, very old. It was my pop's grinder.
Yeah.
So no, I love grinder.
Skill's an excellent brand too, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's more of a woodworker's brand, I'd say.
Yeah.
But the jigsaw I have is a Skill jigsaw.
Mine too.
I bought this. I take that back. This is because my father owned a Milwaukee and still owns and uses a Milwaukee Angle Grinder. But my grandpa, he had a Skill jigsaw. And
does your jigsaw have the laser light on it?
No, it does not.
Oh, mine does.
It does not.
I love it.
Does yours oscillate?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's good.
Absolutely does.
Yeah. Mine's got the little quick change bit thing. You just twist it.
Yep, mine too.
Pop out the blade, pop one in.
Oh, mine actually.
And Skill Saw is the actual brand of my circular saw too.
Yeah,
Skill
dude, my favorite circular saw that I own is a skill saw.
Yeah.
And
mine's not the worm drive.
Mine is. I can't even think of the name for it right now. I'm spacing out. Mine's longer. It has a body.
So yours is the worm drive.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
And dude, but on mine, I actually.
Is it a magnesium one too?
Yeah.
So so it's not near as hanging around on a bag of bricks.
Yeah. No. It's but on mine, you know how you have the safety. As you're cutting your safety,
yeah. Uh-huh.
I always take a wood wedge that we use for doors, and I wedge that shit.
Yeah, so you don't have to hold the...
Dude, there's nothing more aggravating than...
Oh, I know.
But
yeah, trust me.
Yeah, no,
I hate that shit. I almost always just hold the safety chute open with my offhand.
You should just put a wedge in it. I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, to all the safety OSHA viewers out there, don't do that.
Yeah.
OSHA would be disappointed.
Going... Oh, fuck OSHA, man. That's a whole nother topic for another day. So going over a grinder, I know this is your gig.
Man. So the thing that I actually really like about this grinder is the fact that its body is longer.
Yeah.
It gives it a little bit better control. I find that it's easier. Another thing that I failed to point out, I mentioned it has a side handle, but it's got threads on one side and two sides on both sides, so you can change that out.
Does it have one on the top?
No, it does not, actually.
Some of them do. So the grinder that I have is actually Ryobi.
Oh,
Ryobi is my because I have my skill grinder, which I love.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. My Ryobi is a little bit shorter. And
a little bit easier to get in some tight places.
A little bit. Honestly, the only reason I like my Ryobi is because it has threads in the top.
Yeah. That's really nice for if you're using not a cutoff wheel but an actual grinding wheel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I am not a fan of Ryobi at all. Honestly.
Yeah.
I've had some Ryobi tools that, mind you, this is everyday use. You know, this isn't just. Oh, let me grab this. Yeah. I was using this shit every single day, and I want to say it lasted me maybe 6 months. My circular saw took a shit on me after like probably a good 4 weeks. Like it lasted about a month.
What?
It got a bad buzz to it.
Holy shit, Jesus!
It would have cost me more to get it fixed.
Yeah, then just buy a new one.
And that's why I bought that elongated skill saw.
Mm-hmm.
I
always pass by those. And
love that bad boy, dude.
And
love it.
Just like, I want it, but I wasn't able to pay that much for a saw that I'm going to use maybe, I don't know, once every other month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do as much woodworking as I'd like to. Woodworking is what I started out on, actually. My uncle taught me how to use a wood lathe at like age, I think it was like 12.
Nice. And that's a great skill to have.
What we started on was I just made wood pins.
Oh.
And my uncle is one of those woodworkers that has his entire basement is nothing but woodworking machines. I'm talking not like jigsaws and circular saws and shit. I'm talking like he's got a full size Jet brand lathe. He's got a big Grizzly bandsaw.
Love a bandsaw.
He's got a drill press. I don't know if it's a Grizzly or a Jet. It's one of the two. He's got a big drill press, and they're all hooked up to his central dust evac vacuum.
Dude, that's
his
awesome.
His whole basement is just nothing but woodworking tools, and he's the one that really turned me on to woodworking.
Mm-hmm.
Started out turning pins, and it kind of just progressed from there. And just talking with him and his knowledge about woodworking, you know, combined with the fact that my dad's an engineer, I think was probably one of the things that really started me on my super precise logical mindset train.
Awesome. My brother-in-law actually, Josh Luker, y'all can check him out on Instagram. He does fantastic woodwork, and he uses tools sometimes. Most of all his stuff, of course, is handmade. A lot of it it's bound together by peg and hole. He does a lot of it with hand tools, and it kind of started off as a hobby. He makes furniture, absolutely beautiful furniture.
Wow.
I know for a living, his job, he does concrete work, But as far as not like laying slabs like you would see in a garage or anything like that, like he does like concrete bathtubs and sinks and those coasters, those triangle coasters I have at the house with the gold in them, he made those.
He made those?
Yeah.
Y'all,
I believe it's Luker made.
If we remember,
is what it is.
If we remember, you're gonna have to bring those by and show the audience.
No, absolutely.
How amazing craftsmanship these things have.
We'll put a link in because y'all definitely should check out his stuff.
Yes.
Mind you, it's not cheap, guys, but all of it is handcrafted, absolute gorgeous work. He's very, very talented. Definitely check him out. You know, I think most of his stuff's on Etsy.
Okay.
So does fantastic work. My wife.
I'll have to check him out.
My wife, her uncle, actually. Dude, his name just completely floop out the mind.
Nice.
He makes cuckoo clocks and all kinds of, not just cuckoo clocks. He makes
really?
like wooden clocks, all handmade.
I've been wanting a cuckoo clock for probably a decade.
These gears, and I'm gonna send you the video I have with his permission. I have to ask first. Of all his clocks, I took a video, going around the house looking at all his clocks, and all components of this clock are wood, with the exception of the chain.
Yeah.
You know, the gears, all wood. All of it is handmade. He is so good at making these cuckoo clocks that he has, I want to say, I'll have to ask my wife, but I want to say it's 4 or 5 different Ripley's, believe it or not, have his clocks in their stuff.
Damn.
There's a tree in California, in Orlando. It's called the century tree. And for obvious reasons, old as shit.
Right. And
some hoodlums burned it down.
Oh, Jesus.
And he has some of the wood from that century tree that he's put in his clocks. And if y'all look at his clocks, I'll try to get the link for it. But his clocks are very, 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 very expensive.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even get a family discount.
No.
Like, you're looking at like $10,000 for a clock. But these clocks are phenomenal. I mean, they have to be. He puts them in Ripley's, believe it or not, where it's like, hey, we want some of your clocks. Jesus. And part of the deal for that was that if he was going to give them his clocks, only he could keep up maintenance on them. Like, it was...
Smart. So he was the sole maintenance contract.
Yeah. Nice. My wife comes from a very talented family of...
Sounds like it.
Of craftsmen, I suppose you would say.
Right.
So, but Joshua Luker... We'll throw up a link. Y'all, please check his stuff out. Yeah. And it's not so expensive that you can't afford it, but whatever you pay, it's worth it. It's gorgeous work. I'll try to figure out the stuff for her uncle.
Okay.
And his stuff is very expensive, but it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Yeah, we'll have to check. I'll personally have to check that out.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah. So with the old Milwaukee, the only other thing that I wanted to point out was the guard, right? Some of you are probably going to be like, well, why the fuck do you even still have the guard on it, you big fucking pussy?
Because guards are important, especially if you have a beard.
Yeah, especially if you have a beard.
They go up quick.
Or especially if you have a wife that doesn't really like holding the grinder.
Guys, time out.
The metal that you're working on.
Time out. Oh, listen. We're in the kitchen before we start this. No, we were in the garage. And he tells me he gets his wife to hold something while he's grinding it. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like...
it wasn't ready.
I'm like, what?
No.
He goes, well, I'm not going to put my foot on it. I'm like, dude, put your foot on. Or it's called a clamp.
Well, I don't have a vise.
You don't have a vise?
Sadly.
Clamp, vise, nothing?
Yeah, no. I've got vice
you gotta
grips.
How are you going to have...
I've got vice grips. That's how you're going to hold it. You're not going to hold it with your hand.
You don't have a C-clamp in this shop anywhere.
I do have C-clamps.
How big?
Big enough, but actually, real talk, I actually didn't get those C-clamps until after I did that work.
Fair enough.
And actually, you know what that work was for? It was because I was too cheap, and okay, let's be honest, a little lazy, to go get the right length screws when I screwed these. And so I just screwed them straight through, and I just...
Cut them off the back.
Cut them off the back, yeah. So realistically, she was up top holding the board, and I was down here working, cutting screws off.
You could have just laid out. You could have laid that down and just cut off the back.
I tried that.
It moved?
It slid across the fucking garage.
Put your foot on it.
I could have.
He could have. Anyway,
but so
I'm really excited.
I like the guard.
To see this.
It's pretty. It's got a little lever here, and you just pull down on it, and you can move the guard in whatever direction you want, whatever you're grinding on, where it is in respect to you, so the sparks don't go in your face. or at your beard.
At your beard. Guys, beards go up quick.
But without further ado, we're going to get off of this table.
Real quick, before we do, how long is the cord on this?
This is a 6-foot cord.
6 foot cord. That's important, dude.
Yeah, it's actually,
because there's nothing worse than, even if you have to plug into the wall, do some quick work, and you're right by the fucking wall.
And most of the time, it's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no.
No, it's awesome. Oh.
Yeah. So 11 amp, magnesium head.
Guys, it's really not that heavy. I mean, for a grinder, most of your weight is up top.
Yeah, that's all in the motor and the gearing.
Another thing that this actually locks, like there's a button right here on the side, so you can lock this while you're grinding. I get if you're going to be grinding a lot, it saves time. I personally don't lock it. I've had a runaway grinder.
That's the perk of a switch like this, right? First off, it's not going to go off just by holding it, right? And second off, when you are holding it, so you have to engage the safety. When you are holding it, if you drop it, it's going to immediately click off. If you've got this lock on, and you're like, oh, and then it's going to go, it's going to pull a, you remember that movie, the Ernest movie? Ernest Rides Again?
Which one?
The one where he's at the construction site, and he's being his goofy explorer self, and he's like, oh, the secrets of Nefertiti. And, no, he's at a construction site. And
I've probably seen it, just don't remember.
Dude, it's my favorite scene of all Ernest movies. He's at a construction site, and all of the tools fucking come to life because his, nuclear powered
what the fuck?
Shit, it's not really nuclear powered, but he's, heavily modified a metal detector because he's out searching for antiques.
Got you.
And it malfunctions, and it electrifies all the power tools, and they all chase after this dude. And ever since I've seen that circular saw chase after him by the speed of nothing but his wheel.
From a cartoon.
That's the
from a
horror image that is stuck in my mind.
I got you.
Rotating, spinning, a runaway.
And I know some of you are going to say, well, don't let it go. Don't let it run away. Anybody that uses a grinder, I guarantee you've had it where it bites and it will jerk.
And I'm
Sometimes
glad that you said that too.
You just can't hold on to it, man.
You're right. And that is another thing that I like. It actually has soft start. So...
Really?
Yes, it does have soft start, so it'll start up a little slow and then go up to speed. You guys should be able to hear the speed slowly start up, and then it'll go up to full speed.
Does it say RPMs on it?
Speaking of speed, you read my mind. It is a 12,000
nice
RPM.
Now look, guys, when we're gonna grind on this, we're here talking about safety.
And it is 4.5 inch. If you guys didn't already.
We're over here talking about safety and whatnot. When we
you'll see me
show you how to use this. We're not safe. No.
Yeah. I mean, bearded over here has shorts on. You really should be wearing long pants, closed-toe shoes, which we both have. Long sleeves. I'm gonna have eye protection on. He's just gonna look away.
Yep. Pretty much.
And
dude, that is a huge
blindness
thing.
Is nothing to fuck with when it comes to anything hot metal moving through the air.
Not even that, guys.
Just be safe.
Always wear your eye protection. PPE. And I hate wearing glasses when I'm doing shit. I'm not a fan of it at all. But I've seen, especially in the big grinders, I've seen them break.
Oh yeah,
I've seen grinders break.
It's not or splinter.
It's not just
pushing on it too
exactly.
Hard.
It's not just metal you got to worry about getting in your eyes, man.
Yeah.
That if that wheel breaks, you're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
So protect your eyes.
Yeah.
And
if we remember, actually, I'll drop a link. What they do is the way that a grinder wheel breaks is very similar to. There's a channel called the Slow Mo Guys.
Okay.
And what they do is they've got these insane, 12,000 frame per second cameras and whatnot. And so what they'll do is they'll do a bunch of stuff and they slow it down ultra slow mo. One of the things they do is they spin a record at thousands of RPMs and slowly watch. They do a record, they do a CD, and they do something else circular. But where you reach the failure point because it's exceeding this rated rotational speed limit. And
the centrifugal, is that right?
Centrifugal force.
Centrifugal force pulls it apart.
Yep. And so, I'll try and drop a link to one of their videos.
Got beard in my mustache.
And if it's like that with a CD or record player, imagine how it is with a solid grinding.
Yeah. Man,
yourself.
There's a lot of stuff using tools. I'm not the safest person.
Yeah.
Because I'm comfortable. That doesn't make it right. I'm just comfortable with it.
Right.
But complacency kills.
Yes, it does. So without further ado,
let's get to it, guys.
Swap cameras and PPE. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate where I'm going to be working, how I'm going to be attacking this. We're going to go at what angle. So I'm going to move the shield up just slightly so the sparks go away from my face. I'm going to be kind of out here at an angle. And that's it. This ain't a tutorial. It's not that hard to fucking grind. Without further ado, let's cut this bitch in half. That's all she wrote. Cut through that real quick. And it wasn't even that bad. I didn't even need a side handle on. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. I'm not going to fire it up because it's super late here. But there was a slight ramp up for the soft start. You didn't see it kick out of my hand real quick. That's all she wrote.
NY Factory.